Send link. Yes, audio on. Yep. Okay. Great. Hamamamama. Ba 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 ba. Da 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 da. Ga 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 ga. Ha. Da. Oh. Hi. I think you're still on mute. I
Can you
can't.
hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can.
Oh, geez. Hey, hi, Pinky. How's it going?
Hi. It's been so long.
I know it's
you.
been. Oh, I'm doing well. It's really good to see you. How long has it been? It's been what, like 2-3 years ago? Is it Fringe?
It couldn't have been that long.
No.
Didn't we do some kind of improv thing together more recently than that?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, last time I was in Toronto.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's been so long. Oh my gosh, was it really that many Fringes ago? When was the last time I was in Alberta?
Yeah, I don't. Maybe. Oh, it must have been sooner than that. But it was such a busy Fringe, the last one. You remember?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, never try to do 2 one-woman shows at one Fringe. It's just too much.
No, I never will.
I get it. I see what you did.
Vicky, it's so good to see you. How have you been? You were doing some warm-ups before I came in.
Yeah, sorry. It's so embarrassing. I've got this big audition coming up and I'm like, it's been so long since I've performed.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, COVID. What you gonna do?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
So
yeah, me too. It's a different beast performing on Zoom, hey?
Yeah, it's totally different. There's no give and take with the audience, so it's just sort of give, and hope someone's taking.
Yeah, and I find that like the lack of eye contact is really difficult. You're trying to connect with people, especially in improv. It's a completely different world.
Yeah, and then there's this like weird delay sometimes. Like you're sort of like and then you wait, and then they're like oh. And like, oh God, I just thought I wasn't funny for a second. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh no, it couldn't be that. It's always the delay. You're so funny, Pinky.
You think so? Because you're like one of the funniest people I've ever met. Probably in the like of all the people I've ever met.
Oh, yeah. That's very flattering.
Right up there. And I'm just sad you're not able to get out there and perform. Were you even able to did you just graduate from NTS, or are you going into your final year?
Yeah? I just graduated from the National Theatre School of Canada, wow. But I never walked across the stage. We didn't get to do our big graduation ceremony.
Is NTS like some other schools where you, for some reason, they think that like performing is this special thing that you can only do when you're perfectly primed, and they don't let you perform until your final year?
Well, kind of. You perform a few like showcases in the school in first year, and then in second year for half of the year you don't like hit a stage, and then for the other half of the year you do get on stage finally. Like the stage is in the school, but it's kind of like half and half. Like right at the halfway point, then they say you're ready to be on stage, but it's still a learning environment. So it's cool. It's great to feel like you can still fail and then also feel like you can be a professional and sometimes switch between the two.
Oh wow. Yeah. Ugh. My theater school experience was like really adverse to failure, so it just it was a totally different bag of worms. But a lot's changed in like oh god, how long has it been? 12 years since I graduated.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
I'm an old puppet. I'm getting up there.
Yeah. Well, I started school pretty late I took a nice 9-year break outside of high school to just learn how to do random hobbies here and there.
Learn how to become an amazing improviser.
Well, yeah, I just practiced every Friday and at Rapid Fire Theater, and it was all kinds of fun. But I think there's far more amazing improvisers than myself. But I am so flattered by your compliments, Pinky.
Aw, well, you're a funny guy. Hey. What's that you got behind you?
Oh, these things? Yeah, these are all. These are not all. These are some of the masks that I've made just in my life, either recent or a long time ago.
Wow,
Yeah,
You
a
make
lot of these.
masks too? What don't you do?
Well, I don't fish.
Oh, me
um,
neither. I don't know if I'd have the muscle strength to like reel it in.
yeah, totally.
You
I've
got
been
these
fishing a
little,
couple of times in my life, but I never actually caught a fish.
oh,
But
so
yeah, these masks, they're all masks that I've made just in different parts of my life. Like I used to make masks when I was really young, like in high school, and I was mainly making like helmets, like cardboard armor and stuff like that. And then I realized that I could make masks, and that it's actually like a medium, an art form. So I've been making these masks, and I used a lot of them in the quarantine when it first started because I was feeling so bored, but also so like ready to work, especially being right out of theater school. Because I was like, I just finished this program where I was busy all the time. So
yeah.
I made a movie with all of these masks in it, starring myself.
And
And it,
you make movies?
well,
What?
I'm just trying it out. I'm trying to learn. But
Making us all
editing,
look bad here. Come on.
oh,
I have
geez.
had even had one audition and I'm like freaking out. And you're over here like, I made a movie. I graduated from the most prestigious theater school in the country. Yeah. Also,
Well, when you see my movie, you'll see that it's not so hard when you just use the camera in your computer. It's pretty grainy. Like the whole movie is extremely low budget, but I was happy to make it. It was fun, and yeah, it satisfied my deep love of lore heavy genres.
cool. What do you suppose the difference is between, say, like a mask and like, you know, um, a puppet?
The difference between a mask and a puppet?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think masks have a different sort of like animation behind them, or a different being that inhabits them. Like
Right.
I think there's a spirit inside everything, like inside a puppet, the same way that there is inside of a mask. But yeah, I feel like sometimes in the masks you can't always tell who you're gonna get when they show up.
So true. You
Yeah,
put the mask on and just it's like clown or drag and then like something else comes out.
totally. Yeah, and sometimes my masks even surprise me. I mean, they've been wanting to walk around for a little while, but it's hard because sometimes you never know. You never know what you're gonna get.
Oh, it's so cool. I got to try to make some masks or something. I'm just going crazy down here in this basement apartment. Like, you're just like alone in your own bubble with your own thoughts.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I find the same thing. I rarely leave. I only really walk around at night because I don't really like being around large groups of people. And there's a lot of people out here in Montreal, kind of walking around all the time. But
Yeah,
but yeah, certainly going stir crazy. But it's nice to kind of lose yourself in a hobby or in a project.
totally.
What
Yeah,
kind of
I've been,
mask? What kind of
what's that?
mask? What kind of mask would you want to make?
Oh, that's a great point. I don't know, maybe like, ooh, like a bear. I like bears.
Oh yeah, I have a
Bears.
bear mask right there.
Is that I can't even see it. The red's in the way.
Yeah, here, let me grab it.
Yeah, show me.
I mean, I had to alter its ears a little bit because it looks kind of more like a mouse. But this is my bear mask.
It's so true. That is so cool. Ah! Hi, bear. Yeah, it's so weird. Like so many animals just kind of all look like when you break it down, you take off the different ears and the fur or whatever, they all kind of look like pigs.
They all kind of look like which?
Pigs.
Oh yeah, totally.
They all kind of look the same. Like a cow kind of looks like a horse, kind of looks like a bear, kind of looks like a deer. I don't know.
It's true. And
Yeah.
when you draw like an animal's face, like you could basically draw the same thing and then just label it a different animal because they're all they're all. You're right. They're all pigs.
Yeah, like but different ears.
Yeah, totally.
I don't
Bears
have
are
ears.
bears are apparently pretty closely related to pigs, and bears stink. Like they smell horrible.
Really?
Yeah, they just smell like trash. I have a
You
friend who's like,
smelled a bear?
well, I have a friend who smelled a bear once because she was like a park ranger in Alberta. And she had to trap a bear one time because it was near a campsite. And so they like got the trap ready and they baited it with a bunch of rancid meat. And then they trapped the bear and it was just a little black bear. And when the trapper opened the door, he said, like, you want to hold this bear? It's your first bear. After they tranquilized it, they put it to sleep. And she was like, I'd love to hold the bear. As soon as she picked it up, she like almost yacked. Like it was so stinky. It's just the stinkiest animal.
Like, wait. It wasn't like the rancid meat. It was the living bear.
Yeah, it was the living bear because they love to roll in that stuff too. Like they like to roll in the rancid meat. But I think bears just in general smell pretty terrible.
Well, you know, I've never really been close to one before, so I never thought of the like whole smell thing. I don't know if I can smell, actually, now that I think about it. And I don't know how I'm hearing you either, because I don't have ears.
Huh. Maybe it's the vibrations in those big eyes that you got.
Yeah, I probably do hear through my eyes. That I never thought of it like that before. You're very smart as well. I didn't realize. So yeah, I'd probably make a bear mask and like, I guess I'll just cover myself in rancid meat and just do it sort of method, you know?
Yeah, that's a great way to go.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the bear impulses will just start to come if you can like be surrounded in that and like the smell.
Yeah. I mean, raccoons are kind of bears. I could like observe their behavior in the wild. That's about as wild as stuff gets here in Toronto.
Right. I think the last time I was in Toronto, I saw a coyote walking through Christie Pitts Park. I thought it was a dog. Well, I mean, it is a dog, but I thought it was like just a dog off a leash, but it was for sure a coyote.
Cool. Yeah. Apparently with this COVID thing, we've had like foxes and stuff in Toronto, and yeah, it's been
Cool.
great. Lots of birds.
Dolphins are returning to Toronto.
The dolphins are back, and the, you know, flamingos and all the Toronto animals. Yeah. When you were at NTS, did you do like, I can't do air quotes, but imagine I'm doing air quotes when I say classic theater?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It was a large focus of a lot of it. I mean, studying where Western theater came from, and then sort of working through the classics, working through Shakespeare and Shaw and all those sorts of things.
What was that like?
It was interesting. I mean, we had a very good Shakespeare teacher, the late Ian Watson, who was an amazing teacher and an amazing man. And
I was with Ian too.
You had Ian too?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
For Shakespeare.
Yeah, for Shakespeare. I mean, he was so great because the first day he sort of wanted to interview all of us and just see what our relationship with Shakespeare was. And I knew I was going to love his class because in the interview I told him, I was like, well, I don't really like Shakespeare. I don't really care about it. I think it's like outdated and we shouldn't really be doing it on stages all the time.
I agree.
He said, yeah. But he said, that's great. I'm so happy. I don't want to teach a room full of effing fans. And I was so happy because I was like, oh man, this guy gets it. He's cool. And he understands where I'm coming from and he's on the level. And yeah, it was a really interesting class. I learned a lot about Shakespeare though. I learned a lot. I think Shakespeare is a wonderful tool for training actors on rhetoric and training actors on how to argue your points and how to talk through your emotions. So I really appreciated a lot of the classical stuff for that anyway. I think it enhances some of the more contemporary work that I'm interested in.
Yeah, because like I've never really thought about it that way. I've always wanted to be a, dramatic actor, but that often means having to deal with Shakespeare,
Yeah, totally.
Because in Canada, we're obsessed with Shakespeare.
Yeah, I know. Everybody here loves Shakespeare, which is wild.
It's wild. I've never really gotten it. I mean, sure, like there's for sure, like you say, merit, but I mean, the plays kind of are like, they just sort of meander and kind of don't make a lot of sense to me, and like, I don't know. I don't want to be weird about it, but like I've always nonetheless wanted to be cast in a Shakespeare show.
Yeah. I've wanted to do Shakespeare just to sort of prove that I could do it, but
Yeah.
I'm not so interested in pursuing just Shakespeare as an art form, because I find that the accessibility of it is pretty hard. Like, unless you've been studying Shakespeare, it's really hard to understand what anybody's saying.
Yeah, it takes a while. Like, yeah, you're right. If you go into it knowing what they're gonna say, I sort of saw a Hamlet that I'd never seen Hamlet before. I know, horrible, dear God, but like, yeah, I had never seen it before, and I went and saw this play that was like really sort of interpretive, and that's cool. But I was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
I've
totally.
never seen this before. Think I'm the only one. And then like walked away going, I still don't know if I've seen Hamlet.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
favorite Hamlet is Lion King, The Lion King.
Yeah. I never
Yeah.
thought of that. I guess
That's just
not.
'cause Timon and Pumbaa make a great Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Well, not knowing the plot, I never really put that together. Hmm.
Yeah, that is the right one, right? Hamlet and Lion
Yeah.
King? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they are a comic duo, and that's my understanding of those characters. But yeah, I don't know. Would you ever cast me in like a serious acting role, maybe? Have you
In a
ever put on
serious
your
acting?
Shakespeare? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I got this audition coming up and I'm so nervous. It's for the first time, not for a kids show. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
for,
great.
yeah.
You're
And
always
and I
talking about expanding as a dramatic actor.
yeah. And and I'm just like, maybe they won't take me seriously. Like I'm not gonna try to be funny, but maybe,
Right.
yeah.
It's tough. It's tough when you're trying to like get outside of your hit or whatever, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I always wish I could play like the villains and things like that, but I often, in theater school at least, I was cast as the lover because I look so young.
Aw.
But yeah, I
Who'd
wish
you
I had a big like gnarly scar or something so I could play some of those bad guys.
that could be arranged.
Yeah, truly, truly. But that's what I love so much about Mask, is that you can fully just change your face and then become something completely different and let the mask sort of do a lot of the work for you.
Yeah. And then you can like, you don't need to really worry about words so much as like your body can tell the story.
Totally.
Yeah. I love that. I'm more of a physical performer myself, if I
Oh
do
yeah.
say so. I know that I'm mostly mouth, right? Like
Yeah.
most of my body is my mouth, but like nonetheless, I'm still like, oh, I'd rather be like, you know, moving about.
Yeah. Well, you can add some of that to your Shakespeare. I mean, nobody ever said that Shakespeare had to be like static, stand there and talk. I mean, a lot of these characters are so moved by their words that they have to move their bodies. I think it's really amazing to see when people take Shakespeare and become more dynamic in their stage presence and in their bodies.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Like I'd love to see something like that. A lot of the time I just sort of see people like they stand and deliver and all the nuances like in the words, but they're just barely moving their face and body.
Totally.
I can't get away with that because like as soon as I stop moving, people are like, "Oh my God, are you dead?"
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
There's
Yeah,
nothing like a puppet not moving to be like, so scary.
yeah, very, very scary. Yeah, I'm
Mm.
very happy that you're moving all the time, because otherwise I
Oh,
would get very worried.
thanks. Yeah. Could you imagine? Like, yeah. But also, if you ever have a character that needs to like die dramatically, nobody dies like a puppet.
It's true.
Hmm.
Yeah, that would be a great thing to add to your audition. Make sure that you have a couple of deaths.
Well, I was gonna do some like Juliet just because, I don't know, why not, right?
Yeah.
And I could like jump right to the end, maybe, you know.
Yeah, totally. And
Does
then
she?
just
Yeah, and
and
then
then
just
just plunge and let the dagger rust.
yeah. She stabs herself, right? Or does she do the poison?
She tries to get poison off his lips by kissing him, but then there's no poison left in his lips, so she takes the dagger and and hides it in her. Yeah, I can't remember the exact words, but she says, "Rust now here and let me die."
It's not just I die. That's
Yeah.
my favorite. That's always my favorite. Like, I die. I really hope that like when my time comes that I have the wherewithal to be able to be like, I die, like just before, because like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Just like who does that in real life? Has that ever happened? I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder. I wish I had the wherewithal too to sort of, as I'm about to croak, just be like, "Oh, the treasure is," and then just die. But of course, no, there's no treasure.
My buried treasure, my loved ones, exists off the island of I die.
What a
So
great prank.
I mean, I worked with Ian so long ago. He was great, but like I forget most things. Like I was dropping at the end of my sentences the other day. I was like, gallop apace, you fiery hood and steeds.
Totally,
and then
yeah.
I'm just so rusty. Do you have any like cool acting tips since you're just like so hot off the like theater school bus?
I guess I would say remember to like climb that ladder of when you're talking and when you're like adding qualifiers to the sentences, because often the Shakespeare sentences they run on for such a long time, but they're really just trying to hammer down the same point. But to keep the momentum of the speech going and to keep climbing the same ladder that you were. So when you're talking, as opposed to dropping at the end of your sentences, like keep it up, but then keep yourself excited with the discovery of the ideas. And then also be aware of sometimes when you leave that ladder and jag to another ladder. So just like when you're saying your text and then like a qualifier, the text that you're going to learn, the text that you're going to deliver as a monologue, the text that will enlighten the whole world, nay, the text that will enlighten the universe. Like just make sure that you continue to connect everything together as opposed to having those thoughts disconnected.
Oh, and it doesn't also mean just like get increasingly louder.
No, yeah, I was
not like,
I was doing a bad example of that, but just
no. It was through your example that I was like, that's what I've been doing. I've been like, gallop apace, you fucking fiery-footed steeds, to our famous lodging. Such a wagoner's phaeton would whip you to the west and bring a cloudy night immediately. Like that. And I was like, that's probably not like, what you mean by escalating.
Yeah, not necessarily that, but it can be whatever. It could also be maybe bringing it more into your body and how your body, if it moves around a lot, that would how it sort of would translate those ideas that you're coming up with in the moment.
Yeah, like galloping.
Totally. And I think that that's a great way to image your text, like having an image for all of the words that you're saying and just making sure that you have that in your mind and in your horizon when you say it. And that will always change your body. It will always change how you feel about your own words, which is super important. Yeah, I can see you seeing it now.
Yeah, I'm seeing Phaeton whipping his ass to the west. And it's so satisfying.
Yeah, I can see it in you. It's amazing. What a clear image, Pinky. You're gonna be great.
Aw, thank you. Well, I guess I'd better go work on my monologue.
Yeah, I better build another mask. Why not? No time like the present.
We should totally do something sometime where we're both playing bears.
Yeah, that would be so cool. It'd be nice to use this bear. He's a bit of a grumpy guy, but when I can get him happy, then it's fun.
Oh my gosh. Once we can like finally meet in person again, like I can't get COVID, but I can carry it. So
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one day soon.
One day.
And if not, then maybe we could hang out in a park and just be bears together.
Let's do that. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm going to make my bear mask too. Next time we talk, I'm wearing my bear mask.
Amazing.
Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me. It's been so long. It's so good to catch up.
Yeah, it's been great to catch up with you. It's really good to see you.
Yeah, really good to see you too. And hey, yeah, the bear mask in the park is our next Fringe show.
That's an amazing Fringe show. I think it writes itself.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Site specific, so we'll for sure get into the Toronto Fringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be good. It'll be great. Big bear, little bear.
Wait, am I the big bear?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like a foot tall, so doesn't count. Wait, weird.
Oh, sorry. I think I accidentally pressed that.
Don't leave me. Actually, no, I do need to get going.
Yeah, I think I should get going too. This mask should get built.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I've got so much Shakespeare to learn and so many masks to build. Ooh, maybe I can exit being pursued by a bear.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a thing, right? That's a
it's
Shakespeare
a thing.
Yeah, yeah, right. I'm gonna exit.